Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. So welcome to season 3, episode 1. It's nice to hear y'all. I can't hear y'all. I can't hear y'all. Y'all can hear me. Girl, you already starting off bad. Ugh, get on my nerves. Wel- Welcome to season 3. I can't believe we are 3 seasons in. Each season has 10 episodes, in case you were wondering. You okay. So make sure y'all go back and listen to the first 2 seasons. Quit playing with me. Why you playing in my face? Stop playing in my face. Like, I feel like y'all should be listening way more and y'all ain't listening and I don't appreciate it. It's hurting my feelings low key. But we're gonna start season 3 off with celibacy. Miranda, why you keep talking about this? Because a lot of people ask me questions about it. A lot of people are going through it. A lot of people need motivation with it. A lot of people need to understand exactly what it means, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that. All of that. So we gonna start this thing off with I get the common question, like how do I do it? Like how do I remain celibate? I've been celibate for 8 years. I took my vow February, girl, I can't even remember now. Is it February 15? No. February 18, 2015. Okay, there you go. No, February 8th, 2015. I'm sorry, child. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Okay, so sis had forgot for a second, but February 8th, 2015. I'm deep in the game. Real deep, heavy, real heavy. Okay, I'm struggling. Y'all know, yeah, my hormones is done for, shot, forgetful, horrible, mood swings. Okay, you don't want to see me. You don't want to be around me sometimes. Okay, it's bad. But a lot of people ask me how I did it, how I do it, because I'm definitely still doing it and not it. I'm not doing it no more, but I'm doing it. Miranda, you have got to be serious sometimes. God damn. So the thing is, you have to have willpower. And okay, hold on. Let me back up a second cuz I want to make this real clear. There's a difference between celibacy and abstinence, and I say this all the time cuz I think people get it mixed up and it pisses me off so bad because people who are abstinent say they're celibate and they're not. Let me explain something to you. Celibacy is a vow. It is a vow that you will not have sex until you are married, not engaged, not in a relationship, married. Okay, so that means I can't have sex till I get married. Lord, when that's gonna be, I have no idea. The Lord got his hand on it. I ain't really just in no rush, but but it's when you're married. Abstinence is when you abstain from sex for a certain period of time. It's not a commitment, it's not a vow, not between you and God. It's a commitment between you and yourself because you could decide, oh, I want to be abstinent for 6 months, which means you want to go without sex for 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 days, whatever you decide. Or you may not be in a position to have sex, as in, like, you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you ain't a hoe like I used to be back in the day. So, that's the thing too. You don't have nobody to have sex with. That's abstinence. Okay. That's not celibacy. There is a difference. Please understand that. Cause that pisses me off. People like, I'm celibate too. Are you really? Because did you take a vow? Do you wear a ring? Do you have a certificate? Cause mine is sitting above my bed. Okay. I worked hard. If I was abstinent, I'd have been gave in years ago. I used to be a hoe. Hmm? It's hard. It's hard out here for okay. You Miranda. Sorry. Y'all should know me by now. I cut up even worse on YouTube. You think this podcast is bad, baby? Listen on here. But a lot of people ask me how I do it, and it's you gotta have willpower. You gotta have patience, you gotta have faith, you gotta have willpower. You gotta have patience. Because the thing about celibacy is you never know when it's going to end. You never know when you're going to get married, especially if you take a celibacy vow while you're single. You don't know when he or she, the special one for you that you're gonna get married, gonna come into your life. Like I said, I'm 8 years in the game. I spent 6 of those years single. I got into a toxic relationship. During that over a year relationship, no, I did not have sex. And the thing that makes celibacy difficult is what I want to mention, that a lot of my celibate sisters and brothers will agree on, is that it's not the act of not having sex, it's finding somebody that's going to be okay with it. So celibacy doesn't get extremely difficult until you're in a relationship or you're talking to somebody. Trust me, I know a lot about this. I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been in a relationship as a celibate person, and I've talked to people as a celibate person. So the problem comes in when you have, like, cuz if you don't have anybody, there's no temptation there. There's nothing to tempt you. It's just you. So you don't have any temptation. But when you have somebody in your life that you talking to that you really, really like, probably even love, depending on how long you've been talking to that person, depending on your relationship, then that's when it becomes hard. That's when the devil come knocking. I'm talking about that temptation ain't no bitch. Because y'all know I try to keep my cussing to a minimum. It ain't no joke. Like I'm not playing. It's not a joke. I've been in that situation. Now, whether I'm currently in that situation ain't y'all business, but I've been in that situation. I'll touch on my personal business a little bit later, give y'all a little more insight on some stuff. Not too much though, because you got to be careful what you say on the internet. But but that's when temptation comes. When you not talking to nobody, you'll be fine. Especially if you somebody like me who got 10 million jobs. That's what kept me going for 6 years, baby. I was too busy building empires and nonprofits and businesses and writing books and shit. I didn't even notice that I wasn't having sex. I know y'all like, girl, what? That's crazy. I can't even go shit a week without having sex. But I really did not notice. I kid y'all not. Now that first year was hard. It was tough. Again, I come from a promiscuous background, so I was used to doing it all the time. So that first year or two, ooh, if I didn't have the turbo movement and if I wasn't writing books, I promise y'all I would have gave in. It was hard. I had to stay away from the male species. Like, if you trying to be celibate, you got to stay away from, if you a man, you got to stay away from women. If you a woman, you got to stay away from men. Women, you got to stay away from women. Just stay away from whatever you're sexually attracted to for at least a good year, or you gonna give in. I'm telling you right now. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just telling you the truth. That temptation ain't no joke. So the hard part is when you are talking to somebody. That's when it becomes difficult. That's when the test comes. And I like to tell people, think of celibacy as a long fast. So when you're fasting, the point of fasting is to, get rid of, well, not get rid of, but take a break from something that you are really used to, something that's a sacrifice. So for me, sex was a sacrifice because I was so used to having it all the time. So when you take that sacrifice and when you're going through fasting, the point is to be able to go to God when you feel tempted. So instead of doing what you would do, so say if you fasted from social media, instead of getting on social media, that's your time to talk to God. Like, it brings you closer to him. It allows you to hear him more clearly. Because I will say, when I became celibate, it's like everything kind of opened. Like my eyes got open to a lot of stuff. It was like legitimately I saw a lot of stuff. Like when I tell y'all even the trees was greener, I was like, when did the world become so beautiful? Like that's the type of feeling that it is, because when you fasting, you are clearing your body and your mind and your soul of toxicity or whatever it is that you're addicted to or that takes your focus away from God. So I started to see a lot of things more clearly. I started to see people for who they were, and it weeds out all the bullshit, man. Honestly, it's like an application. It's like an interview. Is it a good candidate or a bad one? Because if you ain't gonna accept my celibacy, then that ain't gonna work. Most times I got oh, that's dope. I don't know how you do it. And then that was the end of that conversation. If you don't know how I do it, then you can't do it. That's why I have to give respect to my ex. As toxic as he was, he respected my vow and he took it with me. We did not have sex. And we were together for over a year and never had sex. So I have to give him that. He definitely made that sacrifice. I gotta give him his flowers. He get a yeah, hoes comment, but I gotta give him his flowers for at least that part of it. Hmm. Another podcast episode, but that's very rare that you're gonna find somebody to accept it, and not only accept it, they have to do it too. Unless you gonna have an open relationship. If you have an open relationship where each of y'all can do what y'all want and you allow your partner to have sex with other people, then that's different. See, the thing with me is I talk to a lot of people, but I never told those people that they couldn't have sex. Now, when I was in a relationship, obviously you can't have sex, nigga, that's cheating. But if I'm talking to somebody, it's not like I'm gonna be like, you can't talk to nobody, you can't have sex with nobody else because I'm celibate. You not my boyfriend. I can't, we don't have any commitment. So I can't stop you. Most times they even be telling me stories about it, not about the actual sex, about them talking to women. I just became like that homegirl, homeboy that you kind of cuddle with, sometimes on the regular, you chill with, vibe with. Like I was that chick. Like that's me. I'm that person. I'm gonna give you advice on what you doing wrong when it comes to women, because I give advice in general. And I have given successful advice. I just want to put that out there. But that's the difficult part. That's the hard part of it. You have to stand your ground. You have to have that willpower because that temptation gonna come, baby, and it ain't nothing nice. You gotta stay focused and you can't let the enemy distract you from what you trying to do. Cause that is your commitment to God. Now again, if you abstinent, that's different. If you wanna be abstinent for a year, and let's say you start talking to somebody and you tell that person, well, I'm abstinent for right now, so you can't have sex right then, but you don't have to wait until you get married. That's the big difference, because I don't know how long it's going to take. It's been 8 years. I don't know if it's going to be 20 years. I don't know if it's going to be 10 years, 15 years, hell, maybe even 30 years. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to get married. Like, I ain't gonna just wake up one day and be married and then boom, I can have sex. So you have to have a lot of patience because again, you could be there's no time limit on it. There's no time limit on it. And you gonna go through a lot of men or a lot of women because like I said, everybody ain't gonna accept it, everybody ain't gonna deal with it. So it's like my life became a revolving door where it was like people in and out because they couldn't handle it. And if you can't handle it, then my nigga, that's on you. I'm not changing my life or my lifestyle for nobody. Nobody. You understand what I'm telling you? So if you got a problem with it, I suggest you go ahead and exit stage left, right, front, or back because baby, I am not changing my decision. It's my decision. I made it. It's my vow. I made it. I have a commitment to God and I have to stand on that. So that's the difficult part of it. Of course, not having sex is difficult, but that's not the hardest part of it. I promise you, as much as you think it is, it's really not. It's the temptation when you talking to somebody. It's the temptation when you dating somebody. It's the temptation when you get with somebody in a relationship. Hell, it's the temptation even if you get engaged, because in your mind, you like, oh well, we gon' get married, so I might as well just do it now. That's temptation. No, you gotta wait until you say I do. So, like I said, I've been through it quite a few times. I've been in a relationship during celibacy. I know a lot about it. 8 years in the game, trust me, I know. I know people who have been celibate for 20 years, 2 years, and that is the most common question I get is how do I do it? And the other common question I get is what happens if you fail and you end up having sex while you're on your celibate journey, which is what I'm going to get into in the next episode. So, I will talk to y'all in that one. Bye. Baby, I'm back. Okay, one thing I did forget to mention is if you have celibacy questions, there is a Q&A option. I'm not sure what all platforms it's on, but I know for a fact it's on Spotify. There is a Q&A option where you can ask me questions. Now, again, y'all can ask me questions about anything, but ask me questions. If you got a specific topic you want me to talk about, let me know, because y'all the ones that have to listen to this. I can come up with topics, but I want to come up with stuff that applies to you. So you can either use the Q&A, or you can DM me on Instagram at elements of me on Instagram, or you can email me at info@mirandaevans.com. My information is always in the description of the podcast. So reach out to me and let me know if you have any topics or any questions. Okay, that was my announcement. And again, bye.